Let's go to Las Vegas and talk to Ariana. Hey, Ariana, what's up, lady?
Hi, how are you, Dr. John?
I'm good, and you?
Great.
Awesome. What's up? How can I help?
So I have a pretty general question. So my question, I'll give you some context after, is attraction or like sexual attraction necessary for a relationship to work? So I was with my ex for about a year and a half. We broke up last year around February, and we've still been kind of in each other's lives since then. So like for a year, we've been friends or tried making things work and then went back to friends.
How often have y'all hooked up in the interim?
A lot.
Okay. So y'all didn't break up?
Technically.
You didn't break up?
We like dated other people.
Okay, so y'all opened the relationship up, but y'all haven't broken up.
I mean...
You haven't broken up. Okay,
we did go like months. We did go like a couple of weeks or like a month or two without talking, and then we'd like hang out again.
So that made you a modern married couple, but y'all didn't break up. All right.
Like, not the marriage I want. But...
So what? Yeah, exactly. What? One of y'all did something. What was it?
So before we were actually friends before we had dated.
Okay.
And before we dated, he kind of led me to believe that he was more financially well off than he was. So we ended up dating and living together. I did not know that he had a gambling issue. So we had like a lot of financial hardship during our relationship. Like almost got evicted kind of thing. And then one time, like we would solve things. And then one time I had been like cocktailing for like a month, and he took all my money without knowing and gambled it. And that was what ended our relationship.
Whoa. He took it without knowing, or he took it without you knowing?
Without telling me.
Okay. So is your question... So when it comes to, you said sexual attraction, is it necessary for a romantic relationship?
Yeah. So that like now he's like better. He doesn't gamble anymore and is like doing in the financial aspect, as far as I know, better.
That's it. That's it. That's all that matters right there. What you just said. That's it. Sexual attractiveness. This is kind of this is just the way we say it in the counseling world. The 3 B's, right? Biceps, boobs, and butts, right? It's way more than that. Sexual attraction involves agreeableness. It involves character. It involves safety. You have to be able to trust somebody implicitly so you can fully be vulnerable with somebody in an intimate relationship. And you don't trust this dude as far as you can see him.
Yeah.
And so what you're starting to do is you're starting to resent yourself because you continue to hook up with the person that you're not interested in, that you don't trust, you don't feel safe with. And you're moving that resentment from yourself to him. Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
I do agree. And I've tried ending things with him, and every time
you haven't. No, you haven't. You can. You can. You're scared to be alone. Why are you scared to be alone?
I feel like I'm scared to be without him.
Why?
I feel like I'm okay to be alone.
No. You're scared to be with him.
Yeah.
You've trapped yourself. Why are you scared to be without him?
I don't know. And I think like dating in Vegas is just horrendous. And every time I've like gone through a bad experience dating someone, I do go back to him, mainly because like I do feel like he really cares about me and he really loves me and would do like anything for me.
That means, hold on. Whoa. That means you're using him as a Xanax, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
The same level of lack of integrity he showed by stealing from you, you're now showing by using him as a home base until he does a thing that he always does. You go, and then you run into the arms of somebody else in Vegas. And then you repeat, and then you repeat, and then you repeat. And the narrative that you continue to tell is that he's the bad guy. He's not attractive. He's not. You, to quote the old movie poster, you're just not that into him. But here's the deal. You are becoming, and he's not on the phone, so I can't talk to him. Sounds like actually he's gone and done the work.
Yeah.
And you You're the problem. It's you, to quote the great T Swift. Right?
Yeah. No, I do agree. Like, I completely know he's done so much work on himself.
What's he still doing with you? Why is he still with you?
I don't know why. I just don't necessarily, like, I love being with him. Like, me and him, like, are best friends in that way, but I don't like hooking up with him. Like, I don't like, and
then
he knows
stop.
that. I've told him that.
Then stop. You've told him that, but you've heard me say it 1,000 times on this show, behavior is a language.
Yeah.
And you tell him that and you go do it. You tell him that and you go do it. Have some more self-respect than that. And treat him with more respect than that.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah, and you do too. You played house for a year. And the illusion of it was fun. And you were married to someone who was sick, who was struggling. And you also didn't tell the truth.
What do you mean? Sorry.
He thought he was working towards something.
Yeah.
And you knew early on, eesh, but you went along with the charade anyway. What is it about, was home growing up tough?
No, I mean, my dad's not in my life. But it wasn't necessarily
Hold
tough.
on. I'm smiling with you. This is when I would pass the nachos. No, it's great. It's great. My dad abandoned me, completely left. I don't know who he is or where he is, but yeah, it was awesome.
I mean, my mom's amazing.
Oh, of course she is. And here's the deal. Sometimes the need to play house and have that fulfilled is so strong. That need for, like, if I just had this, if I just had a home, if I just had a partner, if I just had this structure, then everything would be okay. And that's how hearts are broken. That's how people lose their minds. I mean, their souls financially. That's how people lose their souls, like in spirit. They just begin to do things and become people that they don't respect in and of themselves and other people. And it's how kids get born accidentally, and all of a sudden it's like the whole cycle starts over again.
Yeah.
And so the illusion of, if I just had these two people, the ghost you're chasing is, Dad, what was so bad about me?
Yeah.
Right?
Probably.
I'm right. I rarely say it like that. I'm right. But here's the thing. Instead of answering that question, which is a brutal, hard, scary question to answer, because ultimately what was wrong with you? Nothing. You're an amazing little girl. For whatever reason, your dad bailed on you. So the problem was with him. And if there's a problem with him, half of you is him. And that means, wait, what? Am I not perfect? You're not. None of us are. But until you go down that road and answer that question and heal from, I'm not carrying my dad's bricks anymore, you're going to continue to create, whether it's work, whether it's chasing money, whether it's chasing sex, whether it's chasing this illusion of a home, you're going to chase and chase and chase and chase and chase to try to give yourself that stability, and you're never going to find it. You're never going to find it. So to answer your question, ultimately, is sexual attraction important? Absolutely. Sexual attraction is made up of a cocktail of characteristics that is more than just physical attraction. Anyone who tells you physical attraction is not important is lying to you. They're trying to sell you something. Run the other way. It absolutely is important. And the studies show that it's important to both men and women. They're attracted to different things and for different reasons, but it is important. And physical attraction is different for everybody. You take 10 guys, 10 women, they're going to say different things. Some of them are going to be consistent, but some of them are going to say different things. That's okay. But also you have to feel safe. And someone has to be a person of character. And someone has to be reliable. And they also have to be a little, like Yeah, I'll give that a whirl. Right? They gotta have some spontaneity and some deviousness. I mean, that's all that is bound up in desire and attraction, eros, all of it. And at the end of the day, if you're using somebody because they feel safe, you're still using them. Sorry, Ariana. I wish I had better news for you, sweetheart. I wish I did. Hang on the line. I'm going to send you a copy of Own Your Past, Change Your Future. And I want you to begin to trace back those stories that you heard growing up, that some people told you, and ultimately have become the stories you tell yourself. I'm going to start pulling the strings on those and begin to heal. Thank you for your call, sweetheart. Call any time. I'm really grateful for you. Let's talk to Megan in Kansas City, Missouri. Megan, what's going on?
Hey, Dr. John. Thank you so much for taking my call. I was really excited to chat with Kelly this morning, but I guess I can talk to you too.
Yeah, so well played. I see what you did there.
I think I should probably be a little nicer to you because I need some advice.
I disagree. Kelly's she's the brains behind this show. So what's up? How can I help?
So my husband and I need some parenting advice. We are the parent to the sweetest, cutest, smartest, most tenacious, funniest, sassiest 8-year-old little girl. And we have some concerns about her weight.
Okay.
So she's 8. She, on her growth chart, has really been pacing 60% for height, 90% for weight for really her entire life since she's been tracked.
Okay.
And so we have some concerns about her weight. She's kind of starting to outpace her height, growth. And so we brought our concerns to her pediatrician. Mm-hmm. And we had a candid conversation with her without her around. And just said, we're really kind of concerned. We have our own family struggles with obesity. Mm-hmm. And we've been on our own health journey, but we want better for her. Yes. And so we have been referred to our local children's hospital to a weight management clinic.
Okay.
And so here are my 2 questions. Is this something that we should pursue? If so, how in the world do we have an age-appropriate conversation with an 8-year-old about her body in a really healthy, empowering way? We really do not want to hurt her in the process of trying to help her.
Gotcha. Number one, this one's hard, and so I appreciate your trust here, man. And it's, man, I can hear it over the phone. You love this kid, don't you? Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh. And I just want to call out at the beginning of this call, anything weight discussion is just so sensitive. And so I'm going to just go blaze right through the middle of this, okay? Mm-hmm. And if I don't say it the right way or if I lean one way or the other, please just know my heart is with you and your husband and this beautiful, beautiful daughter, okay? So anytime I have this conversation, anything health related to a kid, especially someone who's like 8 and not 18, I always want to know the percentiles, right? Which you gave me, 60 to 90. And it sounds like the 90% is increasing, right?
It's increasing by probably 2 to 3%.
Okay. Right.
It's not exploding, but it's not going in the right direction.
Right. Okay. So this is a hard question. Where did she learn this? Where was this? Especially childhood obesity would fall under a disordered eating, right? Whether it's a coping tool or whether it's just available or whether it's a combination of 500 different factors. Where does she learn this? Either modeling or see it. Do you and your husband have weight challenges? Like, walk me through you and your husband's journey.
Yeah, so my pediatrician put me on my first diet when I was 5 years old. So I've got a pretty interesting history with my weight. And so I was on a diet from 5 to 30. I had bariatric surgery at 30.
Hold on. I don't want to say very interesting. I want to use the word trauma.
Oh, yeah, for sure, trauma.
Okay. Not just interesting. I don't want to minimize it. That's hard. 5-year-olds should not be on diets, right?
Right. And so I had bariatric surgery at 30. I've maintained a 100-pound weight loss for the past 6 years.
Awesome.
My husband had bariatric surgery about 3 years ago. He's also maintained a 100-pound weight loss. We have about 7 members of our extended family who have had bariatric surgery and who have all maintained about a 100-pound weight loss for a significant amount of time.
Awesome.
So if there's an obesity gene, I'm pretty sure we have double.
Okay.
But we have in our family, we don't personally, but in our family, we've got type 2 diabetes and heart conditions and all of the things that go along with it. So I would say she probably learned it from us, even though I feel like I've been hyper vigilant on her eating and on her exercise and in her relationship with her body. And I feel like we're doing a lot of really great things with her nutrition and body talk and things like that. Like, I feel like we're really regimented and we're still struggling, and she's still really struggling here.
Gotcha. So when you talk about you've maintained 100-pound weight, number one, high five to you. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Okay. And I feel like I'm the both and guy always, right? Or the and guy. So that's incredible. And I've seen it to where maintaining the 100-pound weight loss becomes the new drug. And the regimen and the militantness becomes the new pathology. Is that you guys, or have you, for those of you who don't know, disordered eating is so hard because, like, if you're addicted to cocaine, you can just stop being around cocaine. You can't do that with food. You've got to make peace with it, right? And that's a whole other level. Are you in a healthy place with food, or is it something that you've learned to control through power?
I am very, very, very regimented with my food. I treat my relationship with food. I almost treat it like a food addiction. Like, I don't eat any form of sugar, even stevia, because one bite is not enough.
It's on.
It's on. Right. I mean, I'm out.
Yeah.
And so I eat 3 meals a day, no snacks. I weigh and measure my food. I have to be regimented because I live in a brain that says too much is not enough. And so I can hit a slippery slope fast.
Yes. Is your husband similar?
No. He is way more balanced with it than I am.
Okay. And he's maintained his weight loss. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So you, did he have the same childhood you had?
No, he really didn't. No, he didn't.
Okay.
He was, a fairly, average weight kid. He really started gaining in like high school and college. Mm-hmm. And then he had brain cancer a couple years ago and has an autoimmune disease. Mm-hmm. And because of the medicine that he takes, it caused some weight gain. Mm-hmm. And so that was a lot of the catalyst behind it.
Okay. Have you ever met with a psychologist or a counselor for any extended period of time?
Oh, I've gone for years.
Okay. So when somebody tells me they've gone for years and their day-to-day life is still so controlled by this narrative, there's a gap there. What is that gap? Right. What do you think that is?
So I've probably gone pretty consistently for 3, maybe 4 years, and we have unpacked a lot of family history or family trauma that I went through. So we've spent probably the first 3 years unpacking family trauma, and now have really spent the past probably 6 months to a year talking through my relationship with food and really unpacking my relationship with food and how I handle it.
Okay. So if every single person in your family, I'm not a medical doctor, so I cannot rule out any sort of genetic disposition, any sort of medical conditions that you and your family have. Okay. So you know about that. Your pediatrician knows about it. Your kid's pediatrician knows about that. Okay. Mm-hmm. What I can tell you is kids absorb. And when I say absorb, I mean they inhale it. It's the air they breathe. They inhale home tension and they inhale home peace in a really weird way. And it becomes them in a really weird way. And I don't know enough to tell you about weight and how that works. I just don't know enough, right? But I will use something like ADHD. If you have, like you hear a lot about, that's a neurological condition. It's a genetic issue. Mm-hmm. It is only in the right context, in the right environments, right? Mm-hmm. So in a particular brain, I'm a card-carrying member of that crew. So in a particular chaotic or exhausted or power or whatever childhood you want to wrap your head around, my brain went to solve problems that way, right? Which then leads to all sorts of anxiety issues and all sorts of this and this as I try to sit still in a classroom for 8 hours and then hold a job and all those other things, right? And so it may be, this is me just spitballing here, not medical advice, that your kid absorbs chaos, tension, regiment, power, and because of the series of
genes that she inherited, her outlet becomes X, right? As though mine's is Y, right? It doesn't mean we're broken. It means our bodies are doing exactly what they were designed to do. At some point, that means that the focus in your world has got to shift, and this is so hard, has to shift away from fighting and towards peace. And I'm so happy to hear you are on that journey, right? The fact that a 5-year-old was put on a diet for 25 years and nobody said, hey, is this working? Right? That's such a traumatic thing that was done to you. And I'm so sorry that you experienced that. I hate that for you. Hate it. And my hope and dream is I'm very similar. If I have one gummy candy, dude, I'll eat everything. Right? And I also know I can do that sometimes and it's going to be all right. Nobody's, and then I'm going to be back on my cycle. So I've made peace with it. Right? And that's what I long for you. So getting back to your daughter, 8-year-olds can't make peace. They're 8, right? Is your physician worried about your daughter's health? Is he scared for her, or is he listening to your family history and listening to your fear about your daughter?
He's listening to me.
Okay. So when he said, or she recommended that to go to a clinic, what does that mean? Is that an outpatient clinic? Is she going to go live there for 6 months? What is that going to be?
No, what it is so we will meet with a doctor and a dietitian via Zoom.
Okay.
And so she did labs this morning. They're going to look at her labs, look at her medical history, do some genetic testing to see if she has that obesity gene. And then she will.
So there is a genetic predisposition, right? There is that actual gene.
I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure there is. She hasn't been tested for it, but
okay.
If I was a betting woman, I would bet that she probably does.
I don't know enough about obesity genes to know, so I trust you that there's there. And so then my guess is, just looking at epigenetics, that a whole host of people may have that gene, but given the right set of trauma and circumstances and fill in the blank, then that sucker, gets activated, and then here we go. Okay.
Yeah. And so we're going to meet with them. We'll be paired with a pediatric dietitian, and then there are also some peer groups that she will be a part of and meet with Zoom, where they'll talk through activity and what are some good food choices and things like that, and kind of walk her through that. They also are doing a research study, and which is why they're going to do genetic testing on her. They're also doing a research study to track her and track kids in their program through their adolescence to see who has the gene, how they respond to treatment, and who doesn't, and how they respond. Because I think that from what they said, there's a lot of research on prevention. There's not a lot of research on damage control. When we're already here, not a lot of research about how to get out of here.
Yeah. So can I ask you this question? This is going to sound like an indicting question. It's not at all. How did your daughter get here? It sounds like you have a really regimented home that wouldn't have sugar and all the breads and all the stuff in it, and yet somehow she still found herself here. How did she? Is it just her body's response to protein intake and healthy saturated fat intake? I mean, how did she get here?
It can't be. It can't be that. I mean, it has to be us. I mean, there's times where we probably eat out twice a month. She gets ice cream a couple of times a month. But there are times where we're not as regimented. I mean, for the most part, we're probably 80% really regimented and 20% not. And so she had to have gotten here because of us. We're her environment.
But Megan,
by our hand in our lap.
80% wouldn't get you here. 80% would be a 20%, just using the math. I want to stay in my lane here, and I don't know enough about the medical. But an 80%, we're living an 80-20 life, in a normal circumstance would not equate to a 90 to 94, 93 percentile. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What's that gap? What am I missing?
I mean, it's easily that we could not have been as regimented as we have been in probably the past year. And so it could be that. I mean, it could be, I wish I knew. If I knew, I would have fixed this already. Okay.
What I want you to be really careful about that language that you just said, okay? Anytime, and you've lived this, anytime somebody becomes a project or something to fix because they are broken, that becomes trauma for the rest of their life.
Okay.
Okay. Your daughter's just, you love her so much. I can hear it, right? Here's the person I want you to love too. I want you to love you. You've accomplished so much, but it feels like you are still working so hard. Is that right?
Spot on.
After all of your success and turning the corner, you still don't like you. Why is that?
I don't know. I think I feel like I have to earn, and I have to prove myself and earn that love and prove that I'm successful.
Yeah, you don't got to earn nothing. And somebody told you that. A lot of people have told you that. That what you need to do is you need to eat better. What you need to do is you need to lose some weight. And what you need to do is whatever. And for some of us, like, we were told to achieve academically, we were told to achieve on a ball field. You were told to achieve in a dinner table. And that's bullcrap, and I'm so sorry that happened to you.
My mom used to tell me I'd be really pretty if I would lose weight.
Golly, dude.
And I was the cutest blonde-haired, green-eyed little girl.
I'm so
I
sorry.
don't want to do this to my daughter.
I know you don't.
I want so much better for her.
And here's where you start. You start with your mirror. Okay? Now, there's some very practical things that y'all are going to have to work through as a family, right? Her weight is her weight, and her challenges are her challenges, right? Y'all are going to have to work through that practically. But she is going to learn how to love herself by the most important, gigantic model she has in the world, and that's you. She's going to learn how to love her future partner. She's going to learn how to love food. She's going to learn how to love laughing, learn how to do all things from you. And if you say, you got to love yourself, she will not be able to know cognitively, but she will sense the disconnect between what you're saying and how you look at yourself. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's not an indictment. That is, I'm telling you that not to pile more crap on you, because you do not need that. I'm telling you that to let you know that your husband loves you, your little girl loves you, and the world is waiting on Megan to love Megan. You don't got to achieve nothing. Nothing. Okay?
Okay.
And you've listened to the show long enough. I'll tell you the truth. If I think you're being an idiot, I'll tell you the truth. Okay?
Okay.
Now, here's the hard reality. Your daughter is somehow she doesn't feed herself. She's somehow getting this stuff here. She is absorbing this stuff. And I think I don't have any problem with any sort of, if a medical doctor says, hey, we need to do a clinic intake, I'm in no position to override a medical doctor. What I would love to see is, and hopefully it would be a part of this protocol, I would love to see some sort of family counseling with the three of you. Maybe starting with you and your husband, and then moving over to include your daughter.
Okay. Because
I want to get underneath the symptoms here, underneath the eating, underneath the physiology here, underneath that, and say, how can we become a resource for one another of peace? Mm-hmm. Right? Not weighing everything. You may have to do that. That may be the rest of your life. I hope it's not. And I hope the counselor you're with, the psychologist you're with, is making peace with, not learning to get tougher, right? Being vulnerable with. And you've got to deal with the medical stuff with your daughter. I keep saying that over and over. But here's the thing. Y'all have to model a different life. And if that if that begins with her going to this program, great. And if it doesn't, great. How you tell her is just that you love her. Love, 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 love her. One thing I tell my kids all the time, they've got one job. I've got one job, and that's me helping them be safe. I'll say, what's my one job? And they'll roll their eyes and be like, keep me safe, right? I want you to let your daughter know that you love her and that you want her to be so well and so healthy. And that you're working on being healthy, that daddy's still working on being healthy, and you're going to help her learn some new tools on how she can be healthy.
Okay.
And you're going to start from there. Any sort of hiding or lying to a kid, they will absorb it. They will make it their fault, and they'll chase that down for the rest of her life. So you got to tell her the truth.
Okay.
Okay. But also, parents can weaponize that like it was done to you, right? You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
You'd be so pretty if. You'd be so pretty if you could just loosen. That stops in your heart, right? You're not going to pass that one on, right?
Never.
Awesome. So it becomes, we want to have a healthy family that is always able to run and play and laugh and get old and be able to hang out with our dog, whatever the thing is, right? This is about building a beautiful, wonderful, healthy life, not running from an ugly one.
Okay.
And let's make no mistake, too, your daughter knows that she doesn't look like other kids. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm. That's totally fair.
Yeah. And so we're going to focus less on the aesthetics, less on beauty, because she is beautiful and wonderful and spunky and fireball. We're going to focus less on that stuff. We're going to focus more on building something beautiful, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Hey, she is really lucky to have you as her mom.
Thank you.
And that knuckleheaded husband of yours is really lucky to have you as his wife.
Thank you so much.
Okay?
Okay.
I'm so grateful that you called, Megan. Thank you so much. What's up, Amy?
Hi, Dr. Delony. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. I'm not that good at this. You know that. What's up?
I have been wondering and probably have come into the realization that I think I might be a narcissist, and I have seen a lot of narcissistic traits on the internet that I kind of resonated to.
Okay.
And I have been sabotaging my relationships as well because I don't know if I'm not entirely sure if the root cause of that is my past trauma, but I feel like I'm just making it as an excuse.
Okay. I will tell you that few things in the world are over dramatized and over complicated and over explained and over fake diagnosed as narcissism on the internet.
Okay.
Okay. The fact that you're asking this question in a compassionate way already puts you way in the probably not category.
Okay.
Not all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of the right way to approach this. Name somebody that you love.
My mom.
Tell me about her.
She's very kind and compassionate.
Okay.
She's very selfless and has raised me very well, even though she's far away.
Where is she?
She lives in a different country.
Okay.
And she has never failed to, even though we're far apart, she has never failed to make her feel that she loves us and that she's still with us, and reminding us to stay grounded and really have strengthen our core values: family, love, respect.
Sure. So what happened as a child that makes you kind of feel like you're the tracks you were riding on in life are wobbly?
The childhood is pretty rocky for me.
Tell me about it.
Most of it was good, but growing up, sorry.
It's okay. You're good.
I saw my father beat her up as well, physical abuse, and I love my father. He's a good financial provider, but
he has a bit of controlling and issues because he's the financial provider. It seems to me that his way has to be like we should follow his way.
Okay.
And like and there was an affair that happened between the two of them. Like my father kind of cheated, and then also my mom kind of cheated, and then I think that doesn't justify the action of my father beating my mom, but
No, not at all. So,
yes, but
so you're a man can be a great financial provider
mhm.
and a terrible human being.
Okay, yeah,
And your father, he might know how to make money, and he might know how to put you in school or send you over to America, to the U.S. He might know how to put cash in your checking account and still be a horrific man for beating up your mom in front of you.
yeah,
On multiple occasions, right? I mean, so, all right, so you're here and you're scrolling TikTok, you're scrolling Instagram, and you're seeing these 5 steps to know someone's a narcissist, right? And suddenly you're starting to go, oh God, I think that's me. What are some things you're seeing that, like in these descriptions of these clickbait, these reels or whatever, that makes you think I might have a narcissistic personality disorder?
It's the lack of empathy. I think I'm kind of stuck in my other wound that affected my self-worth, that I'm still questioning my worth and feel guilty about it.
I don't think you lack empathy. You just told me how you're empathetic to your mom, and your whole voice changed. Yeah,
I think if it's a family member, I am like that. I love my family, but
okay.
I'm struggling to.
How long have you been in the U.S.?
7 years.
7 years? Is English your first language?
No, it isn't.
Do you pass as a traditionally Caucasian person?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Do you pass as a traditionally Caucasian person?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So you get dropped in the U.S. during an incredibly hostile last decade, right? Mm-hmm. You're learning a language. You are roundly known, or you're seen, and when you walk into a room, not like us. Mm-hmm. You don't know anybody. You're dropped. You see what I'm saying? You know without a doubt, I cannot trust my father. I know without a doubt, both I love my mom and I harbor, and probably if you went there, there's some anger around your mom too. Mm-hmm. You seem to have a lot of feelings.
I do.
Okay.
I think another part of that is I was also sexually violated when I was young.
Okay. I'm so sorry, Amy.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 30.
Okay. If I can tell you one thing, is that your body has learned, your body, not your mind, but your body. Not that they're separate, but in this case. Mm-hmm. Like take your fist right now and put it right in the middle of your chest.
Okay.
Like right there has learned people are not trustworthy because people will hurt you.
Yes.
Did you know the person who sexually assaulted you?
It's my mother's half brother.
Okay. I can't trust family.
Mm-hmm.
Now I get dropped into a new culture, a new language, I don't look like anybody. Everybody's marching and yelling and screaming and hating. Your body knows I'm not safe anywhere.
Yeah.
And so a squashing of trying to absorb the feelings and energy and compassion of the people around you makes perfect sense. Because every time you've done that in your life, it got you hurt. From an uncle, from your dad, from your mom, from the people you got dropped off with in the U.S. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes.
Do you have an exaggerated feeling of self-importance? Do you believe you're better than the rest of the world?
No, no.
Okay. Would you rather people put you on a pedestal and bow before you, or would you rather somebody that you deeply trusted come up and hug you and hold you?
deeply trust in someone hold me
Okay.
and hug me. Yeah.
I don't do diagnostics on this show. I just don't do it. There's too much involved, but you're not a narcissist.
Okay.
Okay? You're not broken. I think your body's actually working really well.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Will you do me a huge favor? Take a huge deep breath and hold it. 3, 2, let it out. Tell me about your friend group here in the U.S.
I don't have a lot. I have met most of them through my siblings,
Okay.
but I have a few. They're out of state. I haven't told them about my past.
Your siblings know?
I'm sorry. I have told my siblings, but I haven't told about my friends. I haven't told my friends about my past, and because there's still a part of me that's like shameful of that.
Yeah.
I just shared it to my brother a couple of months ago, and that helped me a lot.
Was he compassionate in his response?
He is.
What a great man. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. And that might be the first man in your life that responded in a compassionate and vulnerable way, where he said, I see you and I still love you, right?
Yes, he is a great man.
That's awesome.
He's a great man I trust, honestly.
Okay, so what's your religion of origin?
I was raised in a Roman Catholic household.
Okay.
And I am practicing Christian.
Okay. In Roman Catholic and in Christian, there's some, and this is in every major religion, there's some ethos of confession.
Yes.
And especially the Christian religion, Roman Catholic religion, they've turned it into name all the bad things you did last week.
Mm-hmm.
There's something much deeper to the idea of confession, okay? The origin is, I'm sitting with somebody who's hurting, and I drop my shoulders, and I say, this happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, I see you and I still love you. Or as the great David Kessler says, he's a grief researcher here in the U.S. and a practitioner, really. He says, grief demands a witness.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean? You have to find safe places, safe people where you can tell your story.
It's true.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You bottling and holding all this in compresses the ability to meet other people where they are. It's vulnerability. And I hate that word. It just is what it is, what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that means some people need to find a therapist. Some people need to find a trusting faith community. Some people have an amazing brother like you have. Some people have close friends. I'm gonna implore you as a 30-year-old. I think your mission over the next 4 or 5 years is to get some great girlfriends, some great friends.
Yes.
That you can be honest and open with. It might be getting in your local phone book there in Sacramento and finding, or getting online, phone book. It made me sound like I'm 1,000 years old. Get online and find like an abuse recovery group that can meet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you need to be with other people where you can tell your story in a safe place. And your whole body, here's the transition you're hoping to make. I wasn't safe then. I am safe now.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's very helpful.
Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, I've never thought of it that way.
Okay. You care about other people. You don't. Other people aren't your jet fuel to get through a day, right? You don't walk around thinking you are better than everyone, and so they are essentially the sidewalk with which you will walk on to accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish. That's not you.
Mm-hmm.
You're an amazing young woman who got hurt real bad by people who were supposed to care and love about her, and then got shipped off to another country and said, go figure it out. Does that sound right?
Yes, it is correct.
Can I tell you that I think you're brave for making this phone call, and I'm really grateful for you?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Will you call somebody today? Whether that's a local counselor or a local friend, and say, I just need some things I need to talk to you about?
Yes, I will. And I actually have therapy tomorrow as well.
Good. Does your therapist know about all this?
she has.
Okay, I want you to ask her.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to say the words, I'm ready to start taking some action.
Yeah.
And you're going to have two different kinds of action. You're going to have one kind of action, which is healing from the actual abuse.
Yes.
And if she hasn't or is in the process of starting through a trauma therapy that will walk you back through and free your body from that, then I want you to ask for that. I'm ready to start into the trauma therapy. It's going to have some breathing exercises, some calming techniques, and then we're going to go back to hell where things happen, and we're going to teach our bodies that we're okay now, right? There's a whole process. The second thing is I want you to ask your therapist, I want you to say, I want to find a group in town where I can begin to tell my story and be comfortable in my own skin here in Sacramento, California, in the U.S. at the age of 30. I want to start living my life forward now. Okay? Now just think about that. Think about 35-year-old Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Free. Does that sound so good?
Yeah, very relief and calming.
Amy, you're not broken. There's not something wrong with you, okay? There's not something wrong with you. I think your body's working pretty good. And for good measure, you may want to ask your therapist. You think I have narcissistic personality disorder? And your therapist will probably spit her coffee out and say, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm really grateful for the call, Amy. And everybody on the internet, stop calling everybody narcissist. Stop. Let's just take a moratorium on the word narcissist. Hey, Sarah, what's up?
Hey, it's a Monday, and who doesn't love Mondays?
I don't think Garfield does. Anyway, I love Mondays. I'm happy to be here. What's up?
Hey, so, I've recently been just struggling, I guess, with this tiny little black box I get to hold in my hand. And
Kelly's heart?
Basically.
What is it? What's the little tiny black box?
It's my phone. And, there's so much entertainment. There's so much I can look at. There's so much there's never things aren't going to run out for me to look at. And you know what? I'm getting tired of it. And I want to spend more quality time with my husband, my little baby, and doing things that matter.
So what's your question?
So I've tried multiple times in years past, and, just basically social media obviously is the big thing where, I've deleted the apps. I went without it for several months at a time, several days at a time, several weeks at a time, so on and so forth. But I feel like as soon as I allow myself to get back in, it feels like a vacuum. Like I just get sucked back in, and before I know it, I'm spending hours and hours on end, and it's not fulfilling.
Mm-mm. What are you using the phone to avoid?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think entertainment is secondary. Mm-hmm. The flashy lights and the social media, that's secondary. What are you using it to avoid?
I haven't thought about that. I honestly feel like I've got an amazing life.
You don't, because you're hiding from it.
That could be true.
Tell me about your marriage. Does your husband use his phone all the time too?
Yes, he does. Okay. We're both on it.
Y'all just sit by each other on the couch, just 2 inches apart and 2,000 miles away from each other?
Yep, that sums it up.
How old are your kids?
We have one baby, and she's 6 months.
Okay. Were y'all on the phones before she came along?
Yes, we were. I would say it's gotten worse. Yeah. I will say we both are very intentional when we are spending time with her, like playing with her. We put the phones away. We try to not, be distracted by that when we're playing with her.
Can I tell you that's even more concerning to me?
Really?
Yeah. You know why?
Why is that?
Because that tells me when there's a relationship that you care about or that you're highly invested in, you can. And that tells me that underneath this relationship with this new baby, your marriage is in trouble.
Really?
Yeah. And I say in trouble, it's not catastrophic, but it does tell me that probably for a season now. Like when people put their phones away, here's what they do. They delete their apps. They make some arbitrary, like, my phone doesn't leave my bag. And this is what my phone doesn't leave my bag. Or when I get home, the phone goes in a drawer or whatever. And that's cool. What they don't backfill that space with is, so me and my husband or me and my wife are going to make out a lot. Or we're going to go for a long walk. Or when I walk in the door at 6 o'clock, we're going to eat dinner together and we're both going to do the dishes. And then we are going to put the kid down for a 45-minute nap. And we're going to go sing karaoke. Like, you got to backfill that space with something. And most people don't. And you're forced to deal with the elephant in the room, which is in your own home, in your own marriage, you're bored to death. Or maybe y'all don't find each other attractive anymore. Or you don't like each other as much as you thought you were going to or as you once did. Or it's this quiet life of desperation as the plane is just slowly landing in neutral, right? And so you go back to the flashy thing, to the funny thing, to the silly thing. And if it hasn't happened already, this is when somebody at work texts you a funny emoji and you text them back. And then they text you back, they text you back. And now you're back and forth with somebody that you're not married to.
Right.
Or you have a 9-month pregnancy and then you get further and further apart there because it's hard to talk about pregnancy and I don't know how to discuss and what to disclose and this is weird and this is awkward and yada, yada, yada. And suddenly you look up and it's been a year and a half now in your home. And whew, man, there can be some hard stuff to deal with there.
Mm-hmm.
How does that sound?
I mean, I haven't really thought of it in that depth. I've been wanting to, I guess I should say, I might have seen this coming far, far off, and I'm wanting to nip it in the bud before it goes off the rails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess I sometimes feel like I might not even have the tools I need in expressing what I need to my husband, which sounds silly.
It's not
Why
silly at
don't you
all.
just say it?
It's not silly at all. It's not silly at all. It's hard and it's scary. And it's hard and scary for him too. I can't imagine Alabama men, well, that's rude. Tennessee men, Texas men in general aren't told, hey man, here's how to sit down and be honest and vulnerable and open with your wife. Here's how to show that tenderness side. Right? You're told just to suck it up and move on. And it's really hard when your wife's sitting there, when you have a 6-month-old and there's not a lot of training and there's no connection, there's no tools to connect. And so you got this Jolly Roger device that feels like you're connecting with everybody. And it allows you just to Xanax over your life.
Yeah.
So I'll push back on one thing. You do have the tools. Every one of these devices has an off button.
Right.
You can turn it off. The question is, what are you going to backfill that time with? And I'm going to send you all of the questions for humans for couples decks, and I'm going to send you all the questions for humans for friends decks. I want y'all just for 30 days, try those out.
Okay.
All right. And then here's the steps below that. Do you have a pen?
I can grab one real quick.
Hey, don't worry about it. You can just you'll be able to get this episode, okay?
Okay.
I want y'all to imagine that the marriage y'all had. How long have y'all been married, by the way?
Going on 6 years.
Okay. The 6-year marriage that you've had is over.
Okay.
Ta-da! Doesn't exist anymore. Was it good before you got pregnant, by the way?
Oh, yes. And I would still say, like, it feels good, but, you still know there's something.
That's right.
If we're not fighting, and,
No, it's because y'all are both Xanaxed out of your minds. You're on opiates, which is the phone, right? Yeah. You're going to fight more now when you put the phones away because you're going to have to feel.
Right.
So tell me some cool things about the first 2 or 3 years when y'all were married. What was awesome? Was your sex life rad?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Was your like?
It still is.
Ooh. Was your going out fun?
Yes, we're on a budget. We actually don't go out just a terrible much time because we're trying to
Pay off debt.
hit some goals. Yes,
Okay.
and but we just enjoyed. Even if we weren't going out, we just we stayed home. We played games together.
There you go.
We just enjoyed each other's presence. I feel like.
Okay. I want y'all to reverse engineer that world in this totally new context. What does that mean? I want y'all to be honest about our marriage before baby is over.
Mm-hmm.
And that, in fact, that means it can be more awesome because we get to rebuild it however we want.
Right.
And it can be that he doesn't know how to do bedtimes the way you want them done. He doesn't know how you want dishes done. You just get frustrated that they're not being done. Or you see what I'm saying? Like, let's start with very basic needs and wants.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about very basic needs and wants around money, around sex and intimacy, around laughter, around hanging out. And listen, this is going to sound super unsexy, okay? But if y'all aren't already, you got to put sex on the calendar. You have to keep a notes app either on your phone or I keep it in a little journal. Things to talk about with my wife. I have so much going on in my head all the time. I probably get 200 text messages a day just from random people all over the country. It's such I can't, as for emails, good grief, and direct messages, it's just madhouse. Not to mention the work and the projects and we're working on something that's going to be out in a year, it's just all the time. And then I sit down with my wife and my body exhales so much that I forget those things I want to talk to her about. So I write them down. And then we plan trips. Hey, we're going to drive an hour to so-and-so. And I'll have a list of things I'd love to talk to her about. And she'll have a list of things. Maybe she heard something in a podcast or she read something in a book and vice versa. And we'll chit-chat over them. Or we'll pull out the Questions for Humans card sometimes and just dig back in. Things that, like, that it may have changed over the last few years, right? So some of the questions, the way she answered them 2 years ago are different than she answered them now, which is cool. So all that to say is y'all have to be honest about the marriage we had is over, and let's build this new marriage. And I don't want you to give any more power to that stupid phone than it deserves. You can't beat it, period. You cannot defeat the phone, meaning you can't casually drink. That phone is wired to defeat you. Social media apps are wired to be better than you when it comes to just not like, I'm going to open up a bag of Skittles and just have 2. You can't. They're better than you. And if you can, you should probably go see somebody because you're a psychopath. But when it comes to a phone, you got to turn it off. Turn it off. And then you and your husband have to stare at each other and say, okay, what now? And we have to rebuild a marriage and make it more amazing than it was before because we get to do that. I'm about to have a high school kid. My wife and I have never been married with a high school kid. So we're rebuilding right now, and I can't wait to see where it goes. It's going to be exciting and fun and super rad. So all I have to say is turn the phone off. Create some time from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. where there's no phones, 0. And then be honest about, hey, I need some help here. I'd like to just sit down here. You want to go make out right here. It's Thursday night. It's sexy night. Whatever. Friday night, let's go do karaoke. Whatever it is, let's rebuild this thing from the floor up. And don't cash out on this really important thing. Have other friends, other couple friends. You have a group of women that you go hang out with. He needs a group of guys he can go hang out with. And then y'all come back together and you're renewed and refreshed and have new ideas and new things to complain about and talk about and imagine. This is rebuilding a new marriage. I'm excited for what comes next for you guys. All of this starts with turning off the freaking phones. Stop numbing out on the life you have and look at each other and say, hey, 5 years from now, we're on a road that is not going to lead to anything good. Let's shut these phones off. Let's turn the TV off. Let's look at each other and let's rebuild something amazing. All right, let's go down the street to my hometown, Nashville, and talk to Lexi. What's up, Lexi?
Hi, how's it going?
Rocking and rolling. What are you up to?
Good, nothing much. Just trying to calm my nerves about this call, but
Oh, you're all good. You're all good. What's up?
Okay, so I have a kind of description that I'm just going to read because this topic is even hard for me to kind of explain. So I hope that's okay. But
Of course.
I am a very anxious and I guess you could say paranoid person. I was diagnosed with postpartum depression around 4 months ago, but my doctor felt like the main cause of that was my sleeping habits. As long as I can remember, I've been scared of very irrational things. It's pretty embarrassing to admit honestly, since I'm an adult now. But I remember feeling this way as a child, and I feel like it got a lot worse in high school. But as an adult, I still struggle with this. It affects my everyday life. I can pinpoint certain characters that I've seen in TV shows or on the news that trigger me more than others. But mostly when I'm alone or when it's dark, my mind is pretty much convinced that the same episodes I've seen on these TV shows are going to happen to me, even though I know it's not real. So I don't sleep well because I'm super anxious. I have one eye open, and I just last night was up for hours with just super anxious and paranoid thoughts. So yeah,
Lexi,
I know that's a lot.
Well, I was going to say, welcome to my club. I am happy to have you as another charter member. You just described me about 12 years ago. So
well, that makes me feel good.
It is awesome to have you. It's so good.
Thank you. I really hope you can help because I've seen 3 or 4 therapists over the years, and nobody's ever been able to help me or even give me like sound advice that helps me get to the next step. So I'm like, I feel like if anybody could help, it would be you.
So, well, I appreciate that. What are some things that they have told you what are some attempts they have made in the past?
So I did, the first therapist I saw, I was in high school. My mom had just seen multiple episodes of me having pretty much panic attacks because I would get so scared of things that were clearly not real. So I went to a therapist, and his ideas were to, at the time, I was like scared of taking a shower when I was alone because I had seen a show where a serial killer killed girls in the shower. So I would not shower if nobody was home. So he just encouraged me to do that when no one was there and prove to myself that nothing was going to happen. And that didn't really help at all.
Okay.
And then as an adult, I've seen therapists, and they pretty much just tell me to change my thoughts or to pray. And as much as like I want that to help, it just hasn't done anything for me.
Oh man, hey, if you were here, I would ask, is it okay if I just hug you for a minute? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I'm really over it.
Yeah,
but
I could see. So you're the guy you actually saw in high school was closer to the truth.
Okay.
Okay. Now, had I been working with a teenager, I would not have done it that way because it's pretty abrupt. What he was doing was the nerd word is exposure therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's take a snake. So let's say you have a phobia of a snake, and like you can't breathe, you don't sleep, like snakes, right?
Yeah.
What they'll do, especially with the youngsters, but even with adults, is they will start with you just sitting in the room, and I want you to imagine a snake. And we'll do that for and then we'll play a game, like just to cleanse your mental palate. And then, all right, you're gonna for 5 seconds, for 15 seconds, you're gonna picture a snake. And then it moves gradually towards you're gonna color a coloring book that I have here, which is like clearly children's cartoons of snakes. You're gonna color it. We're gonna do it together. And as an adult, you feel like this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever done. It's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
But you color it. And what you're slowly doing over time, and you end up with the last session is he brings in a giant snake, or y'all go to the zoo and you hold a snake together. Because what you've done is you've gently over time taught your body, tiny step by tiny step, we're gonna be okay. Now, I want to suggest to you something totally different. That's what he was trying to do, and I actually think there would have been some help there back when you were a kid. But just basically what he did was, all right, just go to the zoo and hold a snake. You'll be fine. And your body was
pretty much.
no. So yeah, he skipped a bunch of steps. But I want to ask you a different kind of question, okay?
Okay.
What if your body's right?
That's a good question.
Let me ask you this.
I guess
I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound crazy. I don't think there's something wrong with Lexi.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think something's wrong with you. I want to at least sit for a minute with the idea that Lexi's body's working perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So if that was the case, and we backed out 30,000 feet, and I was sitting right next to you, so we're all good.
Yeah.
What is Lexi scared of?
That's a good question. I've tried to think about this a few times, and it's like...
Let me say it differently. I asked it wrong.
Yeah.
What is Lexi's body trying to protect her from?
I really don't like the feeling of being scared. I think that's like above, a layer above where I guess you're probably trying to go, but I don't like the feeling of being scared is something I think I'm scared of.
Okay, absolutely.
And so, like, for example, last night I heard it was storming in Nashville. I'm sure you heard.
Oh, it was madhouse. My daughter ended up in our bed. It was a whole thing. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, it was loud. And I heard something. It ended up being our shutter fell off our house. But in the middle of the night, I heard the bang, and in my head, I was like, "Okay, someone just came in our backyard. They're gonna come kill us. Like, my kids are gonna have to watch." I had these crazy thoughts spiraling throughout my head, and I like fully believed that was about to happen.
Okay.
And the feeling of like the anxiety and just like the waiting, I guess, is really what triggers me the most. Was like I couldn't relax because I just was like so sure something was coming. And I don't know.
I want to suggest something else.
Yeah.
That's a drug for Lexi.
Okay.
You get high off the flood of adrenaline and cortisol, and here it comes. It's showtime. It's game time now.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't have that in your real life, and maybe you grew up, you and I could sit down for an hour. And by the way, you're in Nashville. Come down and visit me in the studio. That'll be fun. We can hang out. But you're like, yeah, for sure. Never gonna happen ever. So, if you grew up in a wild situation, in an unsafe home, your body put a GPS pin in these moments of, I'm free falling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And maybe you didn't. Maybe you grew up in a perfectly safe home. Cool. But
No, I did.
Okay. So if you grew up in chaos or not?
In chaos.
Okay. So think of it this way. Your body put a GPS pin in. At any moment, this thing comes down.
Mm-hmm.
And it is simply all the time, 24/7, 365, your body is trying to take care of Lexi.
Yeah.
It's just trying to take care of you. And so it has put a bunch of GPS pins in darkness and in noise and in hovering, scary pictures. Do you have abuse in your background?
Not physically, but mental. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a pretty rough relationship with my dad, and there were quite a few episodes that happened as a child. My mom is convinced that that's what this is all rooted in.
Okay. But when somebody says like, oh, it's all rooted in this, what they're going to tell you is, so now that's not there, just get over it.
Yeah.
And what I want to tell you is it's baked into your nervous system. It's part of you. So your body is working great. The one freaking guy that was supposed to take care of, be the safe, warm place for his daughter, went to war with her.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you pull that image away and your brain goes searching for the next image to plop in there, and you just happen to sit down in front of a TV show where someone's getting hacked up in a shower.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's how it will happen.
Yeah.
And then eventually you have to take a shower. You have to. And you figure it out and figure it out and figure it out. And your body goes, all right, that's not it. It's going to be this. And it just keeps moving and moving and moving and moving.
Mm-hmm.
I would be stunned, and I never, ever, ever, ever do this on this show. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm not going to do it on the show. I want you to go talk to a counselor, and I want you to ask if they will give you an OCD diagnostic or an OCD analysis. Okay?
Okay.
I would be surprised if there's not some sort of... The trend line between OCD and anxiety is very thin. But when I sat down with the doctor and walked through, and he was like, oh, dude, clearly right here. It gave me so much peace. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because I almost included in my question. I'm not diagnosed with OCD, but I'm pretty sure that I
want you to go,
sort of it.
don't do a Google diagnostic because that is, ugh. But I do want you to go talk to somebody and say, hey, would you give me an inventory and see if this is what this is? Because
Okay,
it just
I could do
moves. Because your doctor's right. Nothing in your body works if you're not sleeping.
Yeah.
How old's your baby?
I have a 1-year-old. She just turned 1, and then a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old stepson. So we have a busy house.
How dark can we get real quick?
Quick, whatever you think.
Did you have some looping, pretty awful thoughts?
Yeah, I did. And we also my daughter had really serious health issues last May, and she pretty much did die at the hospital, and they were able to save her, but that definitely spiraled me as well.
But hold on, you had some thoughts that you were concerned if somebody knew what was in your mind, they're going to take your kids, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you take those thoughts and you bury them in the deepest recesses of your soul, and you can't sleep, you can't breathe, and then your machine loops up again, and it goes in again, and it goes in again. And then, is your husband a pretty good guy?
He is, yeah. He actually is the one that told me about your show. Okay. I'm so thankful.
Well, he's grasping at a ghost because he loves you so much, he doesn't know how to reach you because you're so far inside of yourself.
Yeah.
But I need you to hear me say, you're not broken.
Thank you.
Do you trust me?
Yes, I trust you.
I know it's weird to think that your body's working just as it should. Here's what we have to do. It's, there's like, you ever been in the shower and it's facing in the door? And so you open the shower door and you turn on the shower and it shoots you right in the face and you're in your full clothes and you're like, wow, because it's just,
yes.
All we need to do here is turn the nozzle the other way. Okay. Your body's working great. It has just identified darkness as the end of time. Mm-hmm. It has identified loud noises or scary thoughts as it's all over now. And it is not something that you can think or just quote unquote pray your way out of. It is a biochemical response. Your body dumps cortisol and adrenaline into your body. That's why you can't sleep. It has nothing to do with you being crazy. It has to do with your body is filled with fight or flight chemicals.
Yeah. I always say, I'm like, if I could run a marathon, it would be in the middle of the night.
Exactly. And you just lay in bed and you're like, all right, well, I'm just going to lay here. I'm going to lay here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then no matter how much you're just laying there at 6:14, can I have a snack? Can I have a snack? Right? It just starts up again.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much. That's how it goes. You're
not crazy.
That feels good to hear.
Okay. You're not crazy.
Yeah.
So I want to give you got a lot of work ahead of you. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay.
Okay.
I do think there's, I'm going to send you both of my books because I wrote them for you.
Okay.
A lot of people get a lot of benefit from them, but I wrote them for you because you and I have very similar situations. Okay.
That's helpful. Yeah. Thank you.
I want you to know this though. You're going to have to be willing to let this go as an identity.
Okay.
Not you're going to have to just force yourself into scary moments. You are going to have to do that, but that's down the road. What I'm saying is right now you have identified yourself as I'm an anxious parent, an anxious person, and I'm scared of being scared.
Yeah.
The problem is you wear that as a badge, as a label that you've put on your lapel.
Yeah, that's true.
And I want that crap gone. You're a awesome, badass mom and wife who grew up in hell and has done a pretty amazing job with 3 little ones of her own. That's who you are. You're not a scaredy whatever. Your body overreacts for sure. And you hear here's what I want you to do. Stop being afraid of your own body, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to start asking yourself, what are you trying to protect me from? That sentence changed my life. Because I'd put my hand on my chest and I'd say, what are you trying to protect me from? My things was the economy. Every time I looked at I saw a red ticker on the ticker tape, a little red arrow pointing down. My body, boosh, dropped into my stomach dropped. It was game time. It was fight or flight. Every time I got a bill in the mail, it would never stop. You can't live like that, right? But I started asking myself, what are you trying to protect me from? Oh, from the stock market? Of course it's going to crash. The people are crazy. And of course it's going to just keep coming back until it doesn't.
Yeah.
And it was this gentle, dude, my body's working awesome. It's just identified the wrong villain. But you have to decide to give up the identity that I'm crazy, because you're not.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about it that way, but I definitely do when I think about who I am. That is at the top of the list. Is I'm a scaredy cat. I'm afraid of everything.
You're not. You're not. You're a little girl wondering what you did so badly. What was so bad about you that your dad treated you like that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tonight, I want you to write that 8-year-old girl a letter and say, "Dear 8-year-old Lexi, I freaking love you, and I'm holding you as tight as I can because that should not have happened to you. And if I'd been your mom, that wouldn't have happened."
I can do that.
Okay? You got to let that little girl go. And there might be a 10-year-old and there might be a 15-year-old, and as you write these letters, more crap's probably going to come up. But I want you to slowly sit with them, and I want you to make that a practice. I've got several letters written to myself over the years. Here's another. I want to give you this glimmer of hope before I let you go, okay? Because you and I could talk for hours just kind of piecing this thing together.
Yeah.
But I think more than a bunch of tasks that you could Google at the end of the day, I think I need you to hear me say you're not crazy. I need you to hear me last night. What happened? Okay? I've been sick. And so I was sleeping upstairs in our guest room, okay? It's right up, it's a converted attic, so it's right up against the ceiling. And last night, the storms were nuts.
Yeah, they were.
And I woke up, my heart was racing, the wind was just whipping, the rain was so hard. Bam, bam, I heard the trash cans flying around outside because I live out in the country. And I started laughing. And I thought, man, they are getting it out there.
Yeah.
And then I said, thank God we needed this rain bad. And I rolled over and I got an 87 on my sleep score last night, which is pretty high for me.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
Here's why I tell you that. I need you to believe me that healing is possible if you put this work in.
Okay.
You're going to have some time in the darkness, right? They're probably going to have you draw a picture of a dark room with a little kid in it. And if you want to do that with your husband, y'all do it together, because don't do this by yourself. But y'all two draw a picture of, just for a week at nighttime, just going to draw a picture of a little kid in a room that's dark. And when your body starts going, I want you to feel it. Put your hand on your chest and go, man, my body feels like there's somebody coming in this door right now. But I'm safe now. And then I want you to draw that picture on a nightly basis or an afternoon basis with your husband until your body doesn't take off on you anymore.
Okay.
And then, all right, it's just going to keep ramping up and ramping up until you can't freaking wait for the darkness. And by the way, every once in a while, I go into the house and I'm like, something doesn't feel right in here. I don't. It's just trying to take care of me again. It's fine. I'm not going to war with my body anymore.
Yeah, that would be a great feeling.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Okay, can you undeclare war against Lexi starting today? That doesn't mean anything's going to be better tomorrow. You're still going to have trouble sleeping tonight, all that. Let's undeclare war from Lexi tonight, and I want you to put a journal by your bed. Someone's probably already told you this. Every irrational, wild thought, I want you to write it down.
Okay.
Okay? Oh, I heard the shutter blow off. Someone's in the backyard. We're all going to die. Write that down. Get it out of your body and onto a piece of paper.
Okay.
Okay? Will you do that?
Yes, I can do that.
All right.
That seems like a tangible step.
Will you and your husband come over and get some free coffee and hang out?
Yes, he would love that. We actually saw you one night at Five Guys. And my husband was like, that's John Delony. I had no clue who you were at the time. And I'm like, who the heck is John Delony? He was like fangirling. And then he ended up showing me your show, and I've listened ever since. But he would,
y'all come up here, tell him you were on the show, and that we're gonna hang out, and then it'll be awesome. Okay?
Okay.
And
Awesome. Thank you.
if you come visit me in person, I'll give you a couple of names of some local people that I trust that I think would be worth seeing.
That would be amazing. I was going to ask if you could do that.
Is that
so
cool?
Thank you. Yes.
All right, hang on the line. I'm going to hook you up with those free books, and we'll get them shipped out to you. And I hope to see you guys in the studio soon.
I'm trying to figure out how to navigate a job that I really hate while trying to find other opportunities and support my family.
Can I just take a second just to shout you out? There's millions of men who just go home and they sit on their couch and they play video games. I'm proud to be talking to you.
I'm trying to figure out how to navigate a job that I really hate while trying to find other opportunities and support my family. So,
tell me about it, man.
So to give you a little backstory on that, like the kind of towards the end of last year, I had a job I really loved. I was doing work that I enjoyed in engineering, and the company had a downturn. A lot of people were laid off, and then also I was envisioning that soon. Most of the company was laid off, and I was at the point where I would be laid off soon, or expecting to be laid off any day now. So going to work, I was expecting to be out. So I was scrambling, trying to find a job, interviewing with places. I never really got an offer until this one company that I knew. Kind of after the interview, I really wasn't thrilled with. The commute wasn't very good, and so without anything else, I ended up having to take that job. And once I got here, I've realized I have no passion to do the job. I don't want to really be there. I'm not really liking any of the people I work with there, and it's just, and the commute sucks, and it's just, at this point, it's kind of dragging my life down to the point where I'm not wanting to do things and stuff, and it's just really, I would want to quit the job, but obviously you're always told never to quit a job unless you got another one lined up. So right. That's where I'm at.
The way you made me smile, the way you said it, you were like, and then this, and I just thought, like, my pets' heads are falling off. Like, it was like all the commute and the people and the everything. Can I just take a second just to shout you out? Yeah. Jimmy from Philadelphia, just like fist in my chest. I'm proud to be talking to you.
Thank you.
There's millions of men who just go home. And they sit on their couch and they play video games, and I take their calls of their exhausted, frustrated wives. And there's also millions of men out there working jobs that they hate because they have integrity and they're putting food on the table and they're taking care of their kids, they're taking care of their families. And you're one of those men, and I just want to shout you out.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean that's the way I feel often. It's like, or at least right now, is that's all I'm doing is just trying to take care of my family. And
how old are your kids, man?
I've got a daughter who's 11 and a son who's 8. So,
how long have y'all been where you are?
So we just recently moved to a new house in a couple of years, about 3 years back. So we're in a new place, and we kind of took on a bigger mortgage and stuff like that. So it's a lot of kind of weight carrying on my shoulders to make sure that we can stay there and my kids are able to grow up in a nice area. So,
home safety is important, right? Neighborhood safety is important. So I don't want to undermine that. But besides basic safety and besides like a good community, one of the greatest gifts dads can give their kids is stability. Or the other way I would say that is not stability and we never move, and not stability is in they don't ever know that there's challenges, but stability as in there's not an inferno raging inside my chest at all times. Right?
Okay.
My daughter was making fun of me last night. She was like, "Why are you so stern when you get home?" And I'm like, "I'm not stern." She goes, "You're fake." And she rattled off, and my wife started dying laughing. She's like, "She's totally right." And I was like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yes." And bro, I'm running a scam here. I'm a YouTuber, for God's sakes, man. So I have no reason to be stern when I get home. So I guess there's two things here. Number one, you know this, I know this. I just want to say it. This is just a season, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's winter and it's cold. I promise you spring's coming.
Yeah,
You're a good man.
It's hard to look at it that way. I know I find myself negatively thinking about this. Like, I've really screwed up my life at this point. I keep thinking I'm going to be stuck here, and
so you know that, but I'll reiterate, it's not true.
Okay.
You're one of the good ones. Okay. And for all of human history, men went off to war, and they didn't go for 7-month deployments. They just went for years until the war was over or until they were dead.
Mm.
And so, for some reason, we've got this weird illness in our culture called passion disease, where it's like, it's not my passion. Like, I don't care, man. Like, at some point, we have to take care of our families. And that's just the season you find yourself in. Yeah. So you have two things that I think can really help here. Three things. Number one, keep applying.
Yeah. Okay. I'm really doing that.
But I want you to bound it. Here's what I mean. If you're like me, and I've had a couple of jobs where I got to a point where I had to go. I knew I couldn't be there anymore. I applied for jobs in the morning. I was looking at the trades to try to find new places to go during lunchtime, at nighttime, when my kids were watching TV. I was sitting next to them scrolling. My wife would go to bed. I'd be up all night, and I would make myself insane.
Yeah, I feel you there because I'm similar. Yeah.
Okay, think of that like a pornography addict who keeps going to the next scene. Or think of that as somebody who's always looking for another hit. You're not actually looking for a job at that point. You've activated a fight or flight response, and your body's saying we have to do something right now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Here's how you bind it. Here's how you put a boundary on it. You say, I'm going to apply for 5 jobs a week. Period.
Okay.
And I'm not going to scroll through them like pornography. I'm going to find 5 jobs, and I may not apply for 5. I may apply for 3, but I'm going to have 2 cups of coffee, so I'm going to count that as my 5, or 10, or whatever your number is. Okay. And when that's over, your discipline is I'm going to close this laptop until the next Monday.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the second thing, and this is going to sound so woo-woo and cheesy, but I want you just to go with me on it. Okay. You're from the Northeast. I'm from Texas. You and I both don't have any room for woo-woo, but I want you to do this for me, okay? I want you to take a note card, like go to Walmart or Walgreens or 99 cents for like 150 of them or something. I want you to get a note card. And when you get to work and when you leave work for 30 days, 1 month from today, I want you to have written down 3 things that you've never noticed before.
I've never noticed before?
Yep.
Okay.
Not even a gratitude list. Just 3 things you've never noticed before. I've not noticed how many curly phone cords we have in this place. I have not noticed how stained up the carpet is. I've noticed how good it smells in here. And here's what that does. Like, so, and I'm going to give you like a really horrific analogy, but I'll bring it back. Whenever I would show up to a house and somebody had just walked inside and a loved one had passed away, or they had just experienced a shooting and there's like a real tragic, wild situation where their bodies are spinning out like mad, I would literally hold their hand, and grown men, anybody, hold their hand, and we would walk down the street and we would count cracks in the sidewalk, or we would count leaves on the curb. And all I was trying to do was get somebody from this state of, I won't go through the parasympathetic sympathetic, but get somebody from their body is taken over for them because they're dying, there's a threat, to, no, I'm here now, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Okay.
And what that does is it takes you from I hate this, and then you become somebody that you're not.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of, look how nasty that carpet is. And then you just kind of chuckle and go on about your job.
Okay, just observance of things I haven't noticed. Okay.
I just want you to write down those. And what it will do is it will increasingly make you more present, more mindful of the world that you exist in. And it's easier to exhale when you're on your own feet.
Okay.
Okay, here's the third thing. I want you and your wife to sit down and be honest about, we just moved to this new house and it was cool. One of the hardest conversations I've ever had with my wife, and I've had some doozies, was when after living in a home for maybe 6 months, I said, we've made a terrible mistake. We got to sell this house.
Okay.
And my wife sobbed. I was wrong. I should never have bought the house. I did. And it was a whole thing. And within 5 more months, we had put on the market and we sold it. And looking back, that was the spark that changed our entire financial lives. It changed my mental and emotional life. It changed everything for us. But that was one of the hardest conversations of, we thought this was the next right step for successful people, and we bought into a lie. We got to sell this house.
Okay.
And so I want y'all to sit down and create. Okay, forget the job, forget the home we just bought, forget the imaginary quote-unquote good neighborhoods that you always told yourself you were going to give your kids because you didn't have that growing, all that. Forget all that.
Yeah.
Where do we want to live? What do we want to do? What do we want this house to feel like when I get home? And let's start working towards that, because my fear is you're going to get a new job, and it's still not going to be the job that it would be the 2 jobs ago that you had that was a good job that then went under. And so you haven't grieved that one yet. And then you're going to be on to the next one. And then what you're going to find is every job you get, you go with you.
Yeah, that's my fear, is that this is going to be the next one. Same thing over and over again.
That's right. So find the life that you and your wife want to create. And maybe she's dying to tell you, yeah, dude, this is way too much mortgage. Like, it was cool. It's cool. We did it. But let's sell this house while the market's still, let's sell this house and it's still on the market, and let's move to a smaller place, or let's move to Kansas, or we've always wanted to go to Arizona. Let's just go to Arizona. Like, whatever it is y'all want to do, begin to have that conversation. And then the job will be in service to that life, not just the next thing. Because I want you to go to something, not from something.
Okay. That makes sense.
And by the way, if this job is killing you, if there's unethical practices, if there is, they're demanding, like, if they're being abusive, bro, walk out the door.
Okay. It's not that bad yet, but it's not good, I would say. So.
Yeah. But if it's just annoying and that your coworkers are TPS report people, literally on my show team, one of the guys is the president of the chess club where we work. That's the truth. Another guy is like one of the leaders in the Dungeons and Dragons club. That's 100% true. And the producer of my show is 107 years old. Literally. Like, you don't always get to pick the people you play, dude. People I work with, they're amazing. They're awesome. But like, if it's just annoying, then there comes a moment when you're like, yeah, whatever, dude. I'm not going to give you all hate.
Just suck it up and do it.
It's not even about that. It's not suck it up and hold it. Right? Like, so even the idea of like, I'm just going to suck this up. No, I'm not going to give you all that. It like Michael Singer calls it detachment. Jocko calls it good. Like whether you're a Navy SEAL or you're like an existentialist, like you're a mindfulness practitioner, the practice is, I'm not going to give you all my hate. Y'all aren't worth that.
Okay.
If you hurt my kid, I'll give you my hate, right? But if you're just an annoying place to work, but y'all are putting food on my table, I'm going to show up here, and what I will give you is my excellence and my dignity, because y'all don't get my character either.
Okay.
Like, the whole quiet quitting thing was not a middle finger to the bosses. It was a middle finger to the mirror. There's a bunch of people who cashed out their integrity.
Okay.
Right? And so I'm not going to give you all that. And and the commute's awful. The commute sucks. All right, cool. I'm going to listen to more books on marriage or more books on architecture, or more, like, I'm going to become a book listening guy.
Okay.
Right? Or I'm going to call 5 of my old college roommates, one every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we're just going to talk on the way. Like, you get to pick, but if you can find play and find goofy and find absurdity in annoying moments, you win life.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, it does.
I know this is kind of a beating, dude, because it's kind of like, dude, my job's just awful. I get that, man. I don't want to paint it to a picture that it's not. But what the research says over and over and over again is those that find joy and happiness from the inside out, not the outside in, they win, man. They win. They just win. And that's what I want for you. Most of the people who go from job I hate to job I hate to job I hate really are running from themselves. That's not you, obviously, but man, I just want to applaud you again. You saw that your current job was a sinking ship. You jumped off the lifeboat. You got into the next safe boat. And man, I don't like this boat. It doesn't smell good in here. People are mean on this boat. But this boat is putting food on my family's table. And maybe this is a good moment for us to rethink how we're doing everything. But all of these things put you back in the driver's seat of your life instead of you feeling like you're being drug around by a job you hate. Get back in the driver's seat, brother.